Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Before we lose a whole bunch of viewers, hi everybody.
I can get through 13 seconds.
Maybe.
I don't know if they've made it this far.
It's true. Well, if you're stumbling upon us for the first time, this is the first time watching Twin Peaks for my daughter, Mackenzie.
Hello.
I'm Wade Bradford. This is Mackenzie Bradford.
Nice
I've
to meet
seen
you.
Twin Peaks a couple times, and
Yes.
I'm enjoying watching it again for the third or fourth time.
Yeah.
And
There's too much
in a long
glasses
time.
today.
It's been a long time since I've watched these episodes. So,
Yeah.
but it's Mackenzie's first time,
It is.
and she does not know
I don't know
the
who
mysteries.
killed- I don't know. I don't know what happened.
And yeah. So we
We're
are
gonna find
now
out.
looking at a couple different episodes
Yeah.
that you've gotten into, and I've got them listed on here.
Yes.
The first one we're looking at is called Cooper's Dreams.
Yeah.
And even though it's not the
It's
dream
not about the
sequence
dream sequence.
one, the dreams are...
Dreams are certainly involved a lot. Yeah.
So without further ado, you've been taking notes.
I've been taking better notes.
So who do you want to talk about, or what do you want to talk about first?
Okay, so the first thing was note to myself to watch and see if he ever gets earplugs. Because he's like, Nadine, I need earplugs. Send me my earplugs. And I want to see if he ever gets his earplugs.
Okay, because
I don't think Nadine's real.
No, not Nadine. Diane.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
thinking of Diane.
Diane, the recorder.
So he talks to the tape recorder, Diane.
Yeah. Diane, that's right.
And your theory is that Diane doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Or that Diane is the actual
Diane
tape recorder.
is the tape recorder. And I'm trying to figure out if he's ever going to get those.
The Icelanders are singing.
Yeah, they're singing. And then they end up singing like songs that are not from Iceland. They're from here. Like, what did they sing?
99 bottles of beer.
99 bottles of
in
beer.
Icelandic.
It was really confusing.
Okay, and here's a character we haven't talked about. So
Yeah.
we'll start with this character.
Okay.
This is Jerry.
Yes.
Ben's brother.
Yes.
And
He's
so what
weird.
are your thoughts on
He's
Jerry?
interesting. He seems to be very childish, but also like somehow very knowledgeable. Like we don't stand him. You know what I mean? Like we're not like I'm not a fan of him. He kind of seems like a scumbag.
Okay.
But he is highly intelligent, as far as I can tell.
So do you think he's as much of a scumbag as his brother? I'm assuming you think his brother is. So he's not as much of a scumbag.
Think he's less of a scumbag as his brother. Because he talks to his niece and nephew.
Okay.
Because the dad doesn't really like the niece. He doesn't really like his kid. But the uncle does talk to them.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, he's a little positive.
Do you think, are you suspecting that there's a lot of ways to be a scumbag in the world of Twin Peaks?
Yes.
Because there's crime.
Right.
But do you think that there's any connection to Laura Palmer's demise?
I think that there's possibly a connection in sex, sperm. It does seem like Laura was working at the One-Eyed Jack.
Okay. So he goes to the One-Eyed Jack.
Yeah, he goes to the One-Eyed Jack. Possibly.
So since you brought that up, so according to the autopsy,
yeah,
the 3 men were with Laura sometime in
the night that she died.
Sometime
in
that
time.
24-hour period before she died.
Yeah.
So do you have any theories on who those 3 people might be?
I think currently, it's the sad boy, whatever his name is.
James.
Yeah, James.
Sad boy James. All right.
Probably the brother or Jerry. I think it's probably Jerry. And then I also think it's the doctor. Dr. Jacoby.
And why Dr. Jacoby?
Look at his posture. Look at the way he holds those balls.
What's going on that you think Dr. Jacoby is on the list?
He keeps receiving messages from Laura.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like very sexual in nature.
Okay.
Or flirtatious. And so I assume.
And then person number 3, you're saying Jerry. And I'm just wondering now if that's just because
I don't know. I think
we've brought it up
about it.
Because okay.
So, I don't know if that's actually.
So
I also think
if you had what Ed is
could be a person. I don't know if that's maybe could be.
I want to know your detective work on this.
Okay, well. Like if we're going like real detective or like dream detective.
Let's go with let's go real. Let's start using more. I know when we talk about this, we're relying on TV tropes, weird dream things,
storytelling.
And stuff like that. But let's go back to being more detective-like.
Right.
So do you have suspicions about Ed?
If I was being detective, no.
Okay. Anyway, so we looked at Jerry, and here's something that might not have anything to do with anything, but I wanted to know if you noticed this flyer has been, I think, since the pilot episode.
Ghostwood.
Yeah. So this flyer is on Norma's diner, and I was wondering have you been able to follow? And it's okay if you haven't. Have you been able to follow the sort of the Ghostwood? This has something to do with the Norwegians, then the Icelanders. It's Ben and Jerry.
They're like hugging the trees. They're like, whoa, there's spirits in the trees.
But what do you think this deal is that is trying to go through and what's going on with Ghostwood?
It seems that they're trying to make some type of theme park or like vacation spot.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting the impression of. Like, oh, they love the trees. And so they're like, it's almost like a cult kind of thing.
Okay.
They come in big groups. So it feels like it's a little culty.
When they talk about the Icelanders hugging trees, did you think of, it gave me Midsommar
Yeah,
vibes.
it gave me Midsommar vibes as well. Like,
but anything besides that? Do you think there's something that's going on that's brewing with the story?
I
for
do
Ghostwood?
think that the Book House Boys, is that what they're called?
Book House Boys?
Yeah, the Book House Boys seem to be very much against spirits in the woods.
Okay.
So I feel that that's connected.
So they talk about like having this balance.
Oh, we're
the good balance to whatever's.
Yeah, and I think if you said yes to Woodworth or Ghostwood.
Yeah.
If you said yes to Ghostwood, it seems like there's a little more non-balance with the spirits of the trees. Okay. And they also talk about the log, and there's like, there's a lot of spirits in the log and the trees. With the log lady. Cool. So
what else you got in your notes?
Let's see. I have a note that just says Ben.
Okay. Because he had his name on the desk.
I liked the name on the desk. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to see if he had if Agent Cooper?
Yeah.
Agent Cooper, he says to the girl, whoever he's talking to, the daughter of the
Audrey?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says like, I used to be your age, and he's like, I have the pictures to prove it, and I'd really like to see the pictures to prove it, because part of me thinks he's not a person.
So you don't think that maybe Dale Cooper was never 18?
I think that, I don't know. I think he appeared. Where's that guy from? Where is he from?
He's a wonderful, wonderful, strange person, and
Holy
he makes this discovery, right? So they discover flesh. Flesh.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, my note here is gum and popcorn.
Gum and popcorn. So do you remember what Dale Cooper's dream says something about gum?
Yeah,
do you remember?
The gum that you like is coming back into style.
Okay.
I think that's what he says. And they find gum and popcorn on the page that they were looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how his dreams.
Which is like, okay, very cool.
So it's like a clue.
It's like a dream clue, I guess.
Dream clues?
Kind of.
Okay.
Although I wish they do a little more detective work. I wish they would like talk to people, maybe do some DNA tests. We have DNA samples. And they're like, no need to run any tests on that.
You know, back in the late 80s and early 90s, we didn't want to do that much science.
But
sure, we had it. We just didn't. We were more interested in interpreting dreams.
Yeah, we got to interpret those dreams.
All right, what do you think of these two lovebirds?
Every time they're on the scene, I feel like someone's going to die.
Because of the
gun and just their nonchalantness. Like, I feel like they should be way more worried than they are.
About Leo.
About their situation.
Shelley's very worried when Leo's around, but when Leo's not around.
And also Bobby's also worried when Leo's around. Yes, but they're like they're very pretend, excited, not scared.
Yeah.
And I don't like the way they hold guns.
Yeah, and so Bobby does a couple scheming things in this episode. He's already put the bloody jacket in Leo's or in Jacques' apartment.
Yes, which we find out is not Laura's blood.
It's not Laura's blood.
And it's not, what's his name? The Canadian guy.
It's not Jacques' blood.
It's not Jacques' blood.
It's not Laura's blood.
It's not that other guy either.
And Bobby, I think this is the episode where Bobby talks with Jacoby at family therapy and cries.
Yes, and I wrote a weird little note to myself that was like, Bobby could have been sexually assaulted by Laura.
Okay. Laura was doing something manipulative, or
even cruel or worse.
Okay.
That's what I put.
And this goes back to one of the first questions I asked was about like, how do you view Laura? So are you viewing Laura the same as you did from the pilot episode, or is it changing?
It's changing, but I didn't have much view of Laura before.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't have much view of Laura. I'm more of a like, what's going on in the living world?
Gotcha. So you're paying attention to the living characters.
Yeah, because I just want justice. That's all.
Well, here's the justice team. Some great shots in this one.
I put something for that one. I put like
could be an album cover.
That's what I put. I put Band Boys. Band Boys.
Band Boys.
Yeah, I think that's what I put.
It's a great shot. So they're kind of doing detective work here, right? They're looking for the cabin, so that's good. And before they find the cabin where Waldo is, we get to see the log lady again.
Oh, but before that, we for the first time see Agent Cooper in an FBI uniform.
Yeah.
I was so excited. Okay. But at the same time, the first time I saw it, I was like, is that a jean jacket? So it looked like a running jacket, which is maybe.
Okay. So did that give it a level? And we still haven't seen a badge.
We still haven't seen a badge. You could buy one of those. You could make one of those.
Okay. Does that lessen the possibility that there's going to be some twist that he's actually not an FBI agent for you?
Kind of.
Kind of. Because he's got some apparel.
He's got one piece of apparel.
Okay.
And funding. We also know that.
He does. He seems to have funding. And Albert and the other people showed up, but they didn't have badges.
They don't have badges, and that we know of.
All right. So, there's his FBI. Oh, okay. His FBI shirt. So this, the teacup scene, when I have to say, when Mackenzie was watching it today for the first time, I made her get very close to the TV because I think it's a spider on the teacup. It might be a fly, but it doesn't seem to fly. It seems like it's just crawling around on the teacup during this scene. But and I shouldn't have distracted her because the log lady and her log might be delivering very important information about what happened. So you got it. So what information did she give, and what are you thinking is happening? How does it affect the evidence of the case?
She basically says there's 3 guys' voices and 2 female voices. But we also find the bird. And the bird can mimic human voices. So my thought's like, probably 2 guys.
Okay.
Or just 1. I don't know. And then, what else? They also have a conversation about like, oh, you heard a man or a girl. And I wrote that down.
Okay.
Because she talks about the voices and she's like, you heard a man or a girl? And she goes, girl. And I thought it was interesting that they didn't say woman.
Okay.
Because I'm still thinking about Nadine. Because I'm like, oh, Nadine's a woman, but they still haven't even gotten on to talk about women. I don't know. That's what's
all right. So do you think that the log lady's log, the narrative, do you think it's useful evidence? Do you think it's adding to what actually happened, or do you think it's a red herring? It does lead us to a cabin. Okay. Other than like the red curtain, thing where it's like, oh, red curtains. So we see the red curtains in the cabin, and we see we see the bird. Yeah, we see the bird. We see Waldo. And so it's the answer to the question, where's Waldo? Yeah, where's Waldo? It's fantastic. And we find the other piece of the chip. Okay. Also, side note, before this scene, there's a scene with Nadine where she's watching the fake TV show. The Invitation to Love? Yeah, Invitation to Love. And there's red curtains in the background of that scene. Oh, okay. And do you remember what she's watching in that episode? I remember. Well, I wrote it down somewhere. Isn't she cheering somebody on or something like that? Yes. His name is... What's his name? His name is like... Ched. Chet? It's Chet.
Chet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chet. And she's like, yes, Chet, get him. And then Chet shoots a guy.
Okay.
And that's very violent to cheer on the guy who's shooting.
So
I get it, but
so,
it's a little sus.
Sure. Yeah. So what do you think?
He's also vision impaired.
Interesting, right? So she's rooting for Chet.
She's Chet. She's Chet. Anyways.
Okay. So it might be another piece of the puzzle,
right? In the dream world,
at least in the nonsensical, wonderfully nonsensical David Lynch aspect of this show.
They find,
or maybe it's so nonsensical it makes sense.
Yeah,
I'll have to keep watching.
Oh, they talk about secrets a lot.
Yes, they do.
They talk about a lot of secrets, and everybody makes secrets after they talk about secrets. Yeah. That's something I've been taking note of.
Dale Cooper says that he doesn't keep
have
secrets.
Any secrets. Where's his badge? Where's it?
Aside from that, do you think that he might have other secrets? Is he lying to Audrey?
Well,
or is he not?
I don't think he's lying. I think he's lying to Audrey about I don't have any secrets. Okay. Because here's the thing. He keeps like he'll interrogate someone. He'll ask them 3 questions and he's like, they're good.
Yeah.
So he knows something. He's like, I'm good.
It seems like in the FBI you'd have to have secrets.
Yeah. It seems like that's
let's move on to some more of the grown-up characters.
Yeah.
So Benjamin Horne and Catherine Packard, as they continue to scheme, do their schemes have anything to do with Laura?
Oh, I loved when she spilled the drink on his foot.
Yes, hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn.
I don't think that they have anything to do with Laura.
Okay.
But they are trying to kill someone.
And then it culminates in another sad dancing sequence from Leland.
Yes.
And Audrey is watching and crying.
Yeah. And Leland's crying.
And
then there's a whole bunch of...
They do like a little crying dance.
A little cry. Ah!
And then the episode ends with Audrey is in bed.
Yes.
Let's see. So since we've talked about this for 20 minutes, I think that instead of having 2 episodes, we're going to stop talking about this one.
And then
after you tell me where you stand as far as your suspects. Because last time, the suspects were a tie for... No.
Not her.
A tie for Leland Palmer.
Leland Palmer and Nadine.
Leland Palmer and Nadine were tied as your number 1 suspects. And then we haven't talked about Andy because I don't know that he was in that episode too much.
Andy was in a little bit.
But Andy was your third person. So are we still there?
Okay, here's the thing. Today, Leland is not on the list.
We're removing Leland from the list?
Leland is removed from the list for now.
Okay. And
for now.
And why?
Because I think I found another possible suspect.
Okay.
Because I want to have 3 people on the list.
You want to have 3 people on the
list. So he's number 4.
You're moving him down the list. Yeah. So he's gone from tied with number 1,
for number 1,
past Andy. Okay.
Yeah, because his behavior is
who's person number 1?
Sadness. Okay, so person number 1 is Nadine.
All right, Nadine.
Mm-hmm. Person number 2, get this, Bobby.
Bobby Briggs.
That scene where he's talking to the doctor, he's been doing this zippy thing. He just keeps zipping his jacket, which reminds me of the blinds. But it also reminds me of the guy going like this.
Oh, wait. We can see. So this thing.
This guy, but he keeps going like this. He keeps zipping and unzipping his jacket whenever he gets nervous. He did it at the bar, at the Roadhouse. Right. And so it reminds me of this guy. And
Bobby does ask an interesting question to his dad, or like when they're talking.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it is?
It's about killing someone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever killed anybody? Not wartime's different, stuff like that.
Yeah, so why do you think he says that?
Well, Laura does say he's killed someone.
Okay.
At least according to James.
To the teens.
Laura says that Bobby has killed someone. We don't know who that is. Okay. But he does say, I think Bobby's killed somebody.
Okay.
But not Laura. but I'm still. I'm a little suspicious.
So Bobby's done some.
He's also wearing red there. No.
All right, so he's person number 2.
Yeah, he also says Laura wanted to die.
Okay. So what do you think his motivation might have been?
To help her, or to help her
as in end her life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she just wanted to be out.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And,
so that's what I'm thinking.
And is Andy still your number 3?
Andy is number 3.
Okay. And
I know there's probably better options, but Andy.
And is there any?
Does always seem to be
mentioned
suspicious.
this before, but in addition to him being
above the law.
Yeah. So do you have like a motivation? Like what would be his motive for doing that?
He could possibly be involved with the drug world, and I also think he could possibly be involved sexually.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a guy. we know we have to have 3
all the guys. All right. Well.
But Nadine's still at the top. I'm just saying.
Nadine's still at the top. Okay. So things are happening with Detective Mackenzie's
I know.
handiwork. We're going to say goodbye to you for now, but we're going to be making the next episode
we're just gonna make the next one.
Response very soon. Yes. So join us again as we journey through Twin Peaks. Boom, boom, boom.